Today on Land Beat, we're talking about transformation and what a difference we can do in 2 years. So we're going to dial it back on the Land Beat. We started out showing you this field as we were scouting it out, flagging it out, and it was very dense cedars. Then last year we showed you a pretty bare field because it was cleared in late spring and then planted as we went into a pretty dry part of the summer, so it didn't grow real well. But now we got another year to grow. We had a fall blend planted. Now we planted Roundup Ready soybeans so we can control some of the weeds that are here, get this site prepped, kind of give a good analysis for what's going on in the neighborhood as far as deer density, and make a plan moving forward. One of the things we oftentimes talk about is utilization cages or exclusion cages. We have one up. This is about a 5-acre field, the largest food plot in this whole entire part of the farm or anywhere on the farm. And there's already a clear difference between inside the cage versus outside the cage. That indicates to us we got a lot of deer in here. Maybe it doesn't indicate we have too many deer, but just this is a very utilized area for deer. So knowing that, but also kind of knowing how we like to always include diversity, the goal is going to be to turn a portion of this field into perennial clover or alfalfa, something that provides more forage than soybeans and can withstand the browse pressure that soybeans can't. Even though we have a forage soybean here, a herd of deer in here every night does some damage. So if we can kind of diversify, then that's what we're going to do. So we're going to carve out a portion of this field and turn it into a perennial forage like clover, alfalfa. The other thing we want to do is identify the areas that are harder to plant, that are a little bit steep. Specifically this western rim, maybe on the north, we're going to turn that into pollinators. So we get pollinators to grow up that we don't have to drag the tractor over a steeper part of the field. It gives us better security. It gives turkeys a better opportunity for nesting, fawns a better opportunity for fawning cover, and it just overall can improve the diversity of this area. But overall, just taking a look, we're going to sit back and just be happy of the fact of sometimes it takes time. You know the old slang, it takes time to make wine. That's what we're doing here. And although last year was a little bit dry, we knew that it was not all failed. We continued to add soil amendments, and we have a great stand of soybeans here. A little bit heavier browse on this side versus the west side. You can see that from up high with the drone. That indicates to us that most of the deer are coming from the east and working their way out in this plot, or coming from the south and working their way out, and they're not going to the west as much. And so utilizing that information into our hunting strategy, knowing that where I'm standing is probably a pretty good spot for a blind. But all this is kind of coming into fruition here as we are a good growing season, the first full growing season into this new plot here on the Whistling Woodlands.